Alrighty, so I got a doozy for today. This is a question that I think nearly 95 to 99% of people who book a call with us, they ask this question. How can you target my person? How can I be sure that you're going to get the right person into the door? How can I be sure that they're going to be qualified? How can I do they even exist on Meta? Do they even click on things on Meta, right? And we always say, hey, look, if they're Amish, we can't help you. But if they're not, it's likely we can. No matter how niche, no matter how special snowflake it may be, the most incredible thing that has occurred in the last, say, year and a half is the new targeting and how it works on Meta specifically, and I'll go into other things as well. But rest assured, your customers have a phone and cellular service. They are on Meta, they are on the internet, and they click things, and ads will work for them. So the point of this video is to show you how you can target and to break all your limiting beliefs in terms of I've already tried ads before and I couldn't target the right person. I was getting a bunch of tire kickers, or I just don't think that my people are on these platforms clicking, etc. And there's a few steps here. Okay, so we're gonna go over number one, creative targeting, how it actually works nowadays. Number two is qualifying on the front end and how we're actually able to get a qualified lead on the front end first and then optimize. How does the optimization and how does the pixel really work, considering that the pixel is like your nucleus for your advertising. So everything stems from your pixel, and we'll go over what that is and how that works. And then number four is downstream, how to optimize it for the lowest funnel conversion so that you can get higher and higher qualified leads as time goes on. If you don't know me already, my name is Jake, founder of Adstra. In today's video, like I said, we're going to go over targeting, how it works, and just to break all the limiting beliefs that you might already have as it relates to, I don't know if you can find on the internet my person, which kind of sounds crazy saying it, but I hear it all the time. So we're going to be diving deep into the ad platform first, and then I'll be going into some nuance of the qualifying on the front end, and then how the pixel works. Okay. And so let's start off here on showing you the ad manager. We can just have a quick conversation about how we go about setting up the campaigns so that we can see about qualification, about tracking, about targeting, etc. And then I'm also, actually, before I jump into that, it might make sense for me to pull up our Sherlock Holmes here. Okay. So Sherlock Holmes is our research strategy. If you want this template and you want a training on how to do it, there's $27 product down below, which is our booking process. This is a one-time upsell for $97. Well worth it. Clients pay us a lot of money to do it for them. But I'm going to be showing it to you here, and we're going to be going over some of the parts in here because it's most important, first and foremost, that we get an understanding first of who we're going to target. Okay, Sherlock Holmes, you got to know who your customer is, how they communicate, what they care about. Now, this is just beyond just the prototypical calling them out directly. Moms in Tennessee, CTOs in Chicago, right? Chief of staffs in San Francisco, okay? Small business owners, blah, 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 blah. You could do that. We do that. And we'll show you how that works in a second. But there's ways that you can call people out so that you can capture their attention. Alex Hormozy has this great kind of moniker where he talks about when there's a cafeteria full of people and you drop a spoon, everybody is going to be like, what happened? Or you break a glass, everybody's going to turn around. But if a child yells mom, all the moms are going to turn around. But if somebody yells Denise, only Denise will turn around. Okay. So the point is that if you're selling shoes on the internet, which we don't do, and you shouldn't be watching this video if you do, but if you do, then you call everybody out that wants shoes. Okay. Women, men, whatever it is. But specifically with leads and booked calls, it needs to be the right person or you are not going to be successful. So when we say, hey, look, we can help you book more qualified meetings, it is implied that we're going to target correctly. It's implied. Okay. So I always have to fight about this, but you have to call Denise out. You can call people out by shared problem, shared desire, job title. You can call them out with their demographics. You can call them out by sound bites. Okay. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. When we first work with a client, we help who achieve what, without, by how. Okay, and that's just the general overview. We do a little bit of secondary market research here and analysis just to get some industry shared questions and some shared challenges that we can kind of talk about. But here's what's important: is we get user generated content directly from Reddit, Quora, YouTube comments, etc. Sometimes that's the best hook of a headline. right, is just something that your customer or your potential customer has said about the problems that they're facing, okay? Because it's like, oh, I would say that, right? It's that Denise in the cafeteria type of, reference. And so going into the psychographics, which is what we find 98% of the time when we look at this document, is going to be coming from the mouth of your customer. Doesn't matter what the business is. It could be a SaaS company doing healthcare. It could be a SaaS company doing B2B for businesses. It could be anything. We've done so much work in the trucking business, in the logistics business, supply chain, HR, healthcare, local companies, accounting. Like there's so many different types of matchmaking. I mean, there's so many different types, coaches, courses, you name it, we've done it. And if you have a problem that you solve for people and those people have a problem, they have the budget to pay for that problem. Trust me, like ads work, okay? And this is the point, is that you need to understand and uncover what it is that they're actually talking about it in their own language, not what you think, but in their own language, okay? Getting the dreams and pains, like I said, you can call them out on shared pains, on shared common themes, on shared uncertainties, okay? And the best headline is something that you just rip right from Reddit or from a negative review, okay? And so I'm not going to go through all of this, but we have desired outcome sound bites that we get from Reddit. We have previous solution sound bites, right? Okay. Things that they tried. We also get problem-based sound bites as well. And we look at the competitors too. Okay. So like I said, if you want a training on this, you can buy the $27 product, and then that bump, you'll be able to get it as a one-time offer. It's pretty dang good. We do it for all of our clients. We're the only agency that does this for their clients. So I'm very proud of it. Now, understand that when you go through this, okay, you got to write the brief from here. So, it's very much not like a lot of folks may consider that you have to upload a list, and we do that. We do test lookalikes, but Broad Advantage Plus has worked the best. And what I mean by broad is that we literally don't target anything at all. It's straight up just broad. And we let the creative do the talking. We let the copy do the targeting. Because when the copy and the creative and the headline only makes sense based off the research, only makes sense for that person, only that person will click. Therefore, teaching the AI algorithm, clickers, we need more of those people. Leads, we need more of those people. Booked calls, we need more of those people. So once you get downstream funnel, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I would like to show you just in the last, say, 30 days here for our free report funnel, and we're testing some here, okay? It's funny because what I've done for Adstra's ads has been completely different than what we've done for clients, and it's both been successful. But I have yet to change the audience that I have here, and I am testing a Broad Advantage. And as you could see, I launched the Broad Advantage not too long ago, maybe 3 or 4 days, and the cost per lead is cheaper, okay? And you would see that the qualified lead is cheaper as well. So it's kind of already justifying what I already knew, and I'm expecting this to have a lot more booked calls coming in from it. It doesn't have booked calls because it just launched, and a lot of these booked calls come from emails, texts, phone calls later after they become a lead and stuff like that. But just understand that I already had anticipated that this was going to be better. The Advantage Plus, the Broad Advantage Plus was going to be better. Now let me dive into the Meta ad platform and show you exactly what I'm talking about here in terms of the ad set, okay? So when I'm here, I like to exclude Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii just because they're big and they're irrelevant. For B2B, I like to do above 25 to 54. Typically, some folks have a little bit higher than that. That's fine. You can do 64 or you can do 65 plus depending on what you're selling. Okay. And that's where the demographics do come in. But beyond that, there's no audience. And this is getting a higher quality of lead at a lower cost, which is pretty crazy. And with the other ones that I have set up, you can see that I have this 1% lookalike list, and I have it up to 64 just because I know that there's some, tech founders that are a little bit older, but it's a smaller list. And part of it is because when you give Facebook the opportunity just to run its own course, you get a lower CPM. And for my folks who don't know what CPM is, it's just how much you pay for the impression. So if you're paying less for the impression, you have a greater chance of getting more clicks, more people. And you can see that this is ridiculous. The cost per click is cut by 60% here. So I mean, this is just proofs in the pudding, and I'm glad I waited a few days. I know it's only $287 that I spent, and I spent way more on these. And if I pull it back, maybe 3, 4, 5 months, you would see way more. Okay. But just understand that this is probably going to be the campaign that I use. And I probably cut these two, despite the fact that I have a lot of like nurturing leads here. Right. Okay. And so just on this one campaign, in the last, this test here, the CPMs are cut in half, right? Not half, but cut down a lot. And then the cost per click is cut down a lot too. Just understand it's the same creative, all that. Now, Broad Advantage Plus does work the best, but it will only work if you have the ads that are specific to calling out the right person, okay? You can be as specific as you want. We have some clients that need this person to do this and this and this, like primary care docs with 500 plus patients. So we call it out in the ad. If you're not that person, leave. Don't click. It's not for you. Now, that's just on the front end. And what Facebook is going to do is people who are clicking stop reading the copy, not even just becoming a lead, but Facebook will learn who it's relevant for and find more of those people even before, let's say you have a fresh ad account. They will find people that are just stopping. That will be a data point. Facebook has your keystrokes. They're reviewing everything you're doing. They're looking at what you're searching on. Okay. They know more about you than anybody else does, including your wife and your husband. Okay. I'm telling you. And so even if you don't have any information on your ad account, like I have a ton, so it's probably pulling a lot of pixel data of conversions, people likely to book a call, and it's already pulling those in via the pixel. We'll get that in a second. Okay. But just understand and mind you that you don't have any pixel data, and it's a fresh ad account. You just need to be very direct in terms of who you're going after. Very important, okay? Now, there's two things there that you can do, is pattern match and pattern interrupt. Now, if you look at this ad, it's very obvious. The pattern match is anybody doing cold email and using HubSpot. HubSpot is a pattern match. A business owner, a CFO, a sales leader, a marketing leader is going to say HubSpot and stop and say, oh, okay. Right? Oh, data doesn't lie, cold is dead. Interesting, right? Lead in, filling your sales team's calendar with appointments feels like crawling on broken glass. Shared problem, shared desire. 5 AI secrets to book 100 plus demos. A little mystique in there. So just to let it be known, this is crushing for us, okay? And also let it be known that I'm not asking you to copy, or I'm not asking you to really just take this for face value. I want you to understand this, so that you can take the nuance, extrapolate the nuance, and find how it can work for you. I don't want you to ask, will ads work for me? I want you to ask, how will they work for me? Because they do. They do. You need to ask how. Part of this on the targeting perspective is not to rely on making it super tight. Give Facebook the ability to go into pockets, give it time, but make the creative for that person. Make the copy creative for that person. Make the headline creative for that person. Shared desire, shared problem, pattern match. Okay. And I'm not going to read all this copy here, but just know that it talks all about SaaS tech owners. Okay. That's our main segment. We have other ads that are talking about local companies. We have other ads that are talking about service companies, right? But you want to go after your hero ICP, and you want to riddle it. And a little small one here, demos. I'm talking about demos in this, because what do SaaS companies refer to as sales calls? Demos. So that small nuance of the vernacular matters too, because it's going to bring in the right people. If I scroll into, and I'm not going to do this because we're on YouTube, but if I scroll into my CRM, the amount of .ai and .io is incredible because of this. And I'm not even targeting them directly in this ad or in this ad set. I am in the other one, but it's more expensive. Okay. So just understand that this has worked very well for us, and this crushes it for our clients. Now, we're going to move on now, because that's the pre-click stuff. That's how we get the right person to see it. Now, how do we determine qualification? Let me show you. So this particular campaign runs to this ad. Okay, or excuse me, this landing page. CRO, okay, this actually helps a lot with our conversions. This is a little widget here. Shared benefit, okay, shared uncertainty or shared obstacle, okay, shared problems, chase leads, cold call, cold DM, cold email, struggle with high lead costs, shared problems. Okay, so I'm reiterating exactly what the ad was talking about. 5-step AI method, 100 plus qualified demos, 30 days without cold outreach. Cold outreach is dead. data doesn't lie, cold is dead, all these things. So it's bringing together congruence. So the ad and the ad copy and the ad headline is saying the same thing that the landing page is saying. Very critical, because people miss out on this step here. They forget that people's journey has to be congruent because they will bounce. That's number one. Number two is when they click this and they come in to put their information in, check this out. I'm asking for annual revenue. B2B, you might find that you're asking for annual revenue, you're asking for employee count, you're asking for job title, okay? Keep this to 4. Full name, business email, phone. You need the phone so you can call them. And then your 4th qualifying question. 1 qualifying question that will immediately filter and segment them. Critical point here. Anybody who says that they are above 500K a year, for us, I send that back to Facebook as a high-ROAS qualified lead. If you guys want high-ROAS and you're running ads, you want high-ROAS, use my link in the description. It'll help you make more money with your ads. Anybody over 500K is marked as high-ROAS qualified lead. So if I scroll this out here and show you, it's actually not 11 leads. It's actually 16, and the numbers are wrong, so I have to refresh it. But don't worry about that. It's definitely not a 75-cent cost per lead. But 11 qualified leads out of 16 total leads. So 5 of these leads said that they were under 500K, okay? But the pixel's only collecting qualified leads because I'm optimizing this for qualified leads. That is how you're able to supercharge the pixel, okay? Because your pixel is your nucleus. It's going to be connecting neurons like your brain does with memories and actions. It's going to determine its own actions for where it places your ad based off of what the data it has. Not just clicks, not just scroll stops, not just page views, what you send it in terms of a conversion event. This is just defined as a conversion event here, okay? So we do this for all of our clients. We find just never a bad day for balloons, huh? But we find the thing that they may require to know. B2C, B2B. B2C could be, are you currently looking for windows, doors, or siding, or are you not in the market for anything for your home? Are you a homeowner, right? Are you a contractor, right? Are you whomever? Okay, you can do that where it's qualitative, but you can also do quantitative. B2B, like I said, we've done a lot of annual business revenue. We've done a lot of hey, are you a decision maker here? What's your job title? We've also done, depending on the service, we also done employee count. Okay, so just understand that this has got to be your thing. You know for a fact that you make the most money for people based off of X, more than X, or less than Y. So we put that in here. And then we only send qualified lead data back to the platform for our clients. Therefore, over time, the targeting gets so specific because it's server-side API pixel reporting that it's only going to find the people who are qualified. So over time, it precipitously gets better and better and better. That's number 2, okay? Now, with this pixel, understand that when somebody goes here, they're going to go to a VSL page, okay? And then they're going to go to a book a call page. Everything that we do in terms of where we send people, I'm going to go back to this. Everything we do in terms of where we send people, okay, once they become a lead, we can let them book immediately on this funnel page, okay? But we also retarget, remarket back to them via email, via text, via retargeting ads. And that's going back to the VSL page, or that's going back to the book a call page. Now, when you gather that data, you want to do the same thing, qualified data. If they're not qualified, don't let them book. Cancel the meeting. Okay, what we do is we tag them in the CRM if they are qualified, and then we send that back to Facebook for our clients, or we send it back to the ad platform for our clients. Okay, and then also we would like to collect a conversion data as well, so sales data. Okay, now once you collect that, what Facebook does, what these ad platforms do is that with their pixel, you're deeper and deeper down the funnel and has a better understanding totally of your ICP. And if you're collecting payment data, then you have a point system because you have a value. So if a client spent 30 grand with you, that pixel data, that hashed pixel client data is going to be a lot more valuable than a lead, going to be a lot more valuable than a qualified call. But either way, irrespective of that, the more downstream you can get your event data, the more qualified the leads on the front end will be. So that's why with our clients over time, the results just get much, 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 much better. It's parabolic growth because of this front end stuff that we do, where we don't accept any leads. We don't accept any booked calls unless we have the right qualifications in process. with server-side reporting, sending that back to Facebook correctly, or any of these platforms, okay? And so essentially, let it be known that your ICP is not Amish. They are on Meta. And let it be known, B2B, B2C, across 90 different industries, we have seen success with this. And I'll tell you what, I don't see anybody else taking the time on the front end to do the research. I don't see anybody else taking the time to qualify. I don't see anybody doing taking the time to pattern match, pattern interrupt, and riddle it with the nuance of the prospect in their vernacular. That is what it takes to win in today's game, because you can just light up an ad set and go broad and collect anybody you want. But the game has changed, right? For folks like me, who I'm very much a creative, writing copy, I love the copy stuff. I hate to do the development. As you can see, all the Adstra funnels are not so pretty. I built them all like years ago. Okay, they crank though, because the copy is good. And me being a copywriter, I really love the fact that now it comes down to competing toe-to-toe, head-to-head on copy and research. That's the name of the game. And I've been talking about it for a very long time, but that is the name of the game. If you were considering, if you're a little bit skeptical about, hey, can these guys target our people? I hope this video showed you that we can. If you have not booked a call yet, please use the link below to book a call. We can show you how you can license our system and how we can guarantee you qualified meetings. Okay. If you do like the video, leave a like, leave a comment on what else you want to see. I do hope that you're having a good one, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.